Hello and welcome. I am April.
I'm Joe.
And this is Twice the Dice. Thank you so much for joining us and coming along on our, quite literally, adventure.
Yeah.
So in this, I am the DM, Dungeon Master, Game Master, Storyteller, Book Boss. Give me...
I kind of love Book Boss.
Yeah, that's my new. I'm the BB, and Joe is our player. And we are playing Crown of the Oathbreaker.
Crown of the Oathbreaker.
Yep, there it is. Thank you for that. So we are playing Crown of the Oathbreaker. If you watched our introductory video, we provided a quick little synopsis of what the campaign setting and adventure is. And if you didn't see that, you can go watch it, or you can look down in the description. I'm pointing to the below where I assume the description is. The below. Where the description, and it provides a quick little overview of what that is. So this is our first official episode 1 of Crown of the Oathbreaker. Kind of a little background. We did do something which was new for us. We always, before starting a new campaign, we go through the usuals, the session 0, if you will, of talking through what kind of setting do we want to play in, what kind of adventure, what are expectations, characters, all those good kind of things. And we talk through characters and character background. But what we did this time that was new, I don't think we've ever done it before. We actually ran through several sessions already of running certain key events in the character's background, and actually role played through them. And I, for one, thought it was super cool. It was super fun for me as the DM to kind of do that prior to officially starting the game, even though I guess you could say that was the start of the game. But it was a new for us, and I really enjoyed role-playing through that.
It was super cool. It was a really nice way, especially since we've got a brand new setting, a brand new world, brand new all that. It was a really great thing to do because it allowed me as a player to already sort of have some connections in the world, and for the character to have some kind of baked in relationships with the world around them, with other NPCs and things like that. So we sort of start, and it feels very lived in. It was really, really rad. And it was like different stages of his life in his background that we played through. And we filmed all that stuff. So we're going to share it with you at some point down the road, little bonus episodes. But yeah, it was super cool. It was a really great idea that you had.
Thanks. Every now and then, the noodles. So anyway, we had a lot of fun. It was fun to role play. There were some surprises for everyone around. So yeah. So Crown of the Oathbreaker, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
And please, please consider subscribing and liking and hitting the bell and all that good stuff. It's really important to us. Of course, we want to grow the channel as much as possible, and we really appreciate it. We appreciate you being here, and thank you so much. I do want to say that there's a content warning that we're going to have at the beginning of every episode. You'll see it at the start of this one with information about all of that down in the description. In the description of things you can expect to find sort of in the episode. It is an adult game, and then all that content info is down there.
Yeah, we do want to be mindful and give that awareness. This is an adult content game, adult themes, the things you would expect. We realize that there is a lot of different things that can be bothersome and not enjoyable experiences for folks. We can't cover everything. We do certainly try to be mindful. Like we said, we will put main content warnings in the description, so you can certainly look for them there. And we also invite the feedback in the comments that if there are things that you become aware of, that you see something that maybe we haven't identified or have awareness of, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know.
We're happy to try to put that in there and let folks know so that they know what they're in for. So that being said, the other thing that we do want to include in the description is things that have inspired us that we use in the game. As we've said, Crown of the Oathbreaker is is a campaign setting and adventure put out by Elderbrain. So we certainly want folks to know the materials and inspiration that we use, and whether that's from how we prep the games, maybe miniatures that we have on the table, the dice that we use, anything from that, folks who have inspired us, and the amazing. This is a great time for people, who've been in RPGs for a lot of years like we have. It's an amazing time to be in this hobby, and we want to share as much of that with the rest that maybe folks know, maybe folks don't know, and we hope that folks will also share with us. So like I said, community is a great thing to be able to share back and forth about the things that we love.
There's a lot of. Oh, sorry.
No. I was just going to say, I was realizing that we're kind of talking a lot and not getting started, but yeah.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we've bought over the years that we include in our games. April's DM screen, different trackers, minis, paints, like all kinds of stuff. And if we have purchased something from makers out there in the world, we're going to make sure to credit those makers. And we'd love for you to go check out the stuff that they make.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, without further ado, come along and join us, if you will, as we start CROWN.
CROWN of the Oathbreaker.
There it is. The land known today as the Kingdom of Aglarion has a rich past spanning thousands of years, influenced by cataclysmic events that involved multiple planes of existence. Since the dawn of time in prehistory, all the way up to its current state as a monarchy, the land and its rulership has changed many times. Several key events have shaped its past, namely the descent of the Dark Star and its dark angels during the Mountainfall, the rise of Sarath of the Shining Light and a cruel theocracy, and the establishment of the Kingdom of Aglarion by King Razmarel Melkar and Master Arlen the Constructor, the first Archmage of the land. These events have all left deep marks on the history of the realm, and the legacies of these dark times can still be felt in the fabric of society. Our adventure starts in the year 631 of the Age of Kings, 631 years after the rebellion against the Order of the Eternal Light. King Waldron Azanar has ruled close to 30 years, and under his rulership, with his lovely second wife, Queen Laurencia, the Kingdom of Aglarion is known as a thriving realm. Times of plenty and an open-minded philosophy have resulted in a level of tolerance for beings of all types rarely encountered in other settings. The kingdom is rich, its armies strong and well-equipped, and the rule of law is paramount under a popular king. But even in these tranquil times, the Kingdom of Aglarion is a realm filled with adventure and dangers that lurk behind the veil of peace. It is the year 631, 3 years since Layla has left. And as we come in from the broader map of Aglarion, we find ourselves in a small farm in Nangrath, the northern portions against the mountains not too far in the distance. The farm has seen much better days, and it has a look of abandonment now. The land around, after the last season, which had drought, an infestation, some kind of fungal rot that took the last of the crops. Several of the last remaining animals that were on the farm gave way to disease, and finally it has been completely shuttered and shut down, and now there is nothing there but dust and a little bit of dilapidated wood, and memories. And we see in front of the farm a wagon loaded up with all that remains worth bringing out of this farmstead. Tied to the front of the wagon is a rather stout Clydesdale-looking type horse, getting ready to pull away. A young man is putting the last of the finishing, packing away in the back, and makes his way around to the front, where he climbs up, sitting next to a rather large, older man. And would you describe your character?
I would love to. I feel like I should say too, this shirt just says, when I lean forward, it just says eat on it, but it says more than that. But this whole time it's just going to be saying eat. They're going to be like, he's always hungry. Absolutely. Kel is, like you described, is a large individual. He's about 6'2", 250 pounds. Very strong frame. He's got a laborer's hands, a very unkempt beard, a face that is easily 10 years older than he actually is from some very, very hard years. He's 30 years old, easily looks like he's probably in his mid-40s. And deep amber eyes and just a very severe countenance.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to be succinct in my description.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I imagine he also, in addition to kind of the careworn wear and tear of what have been some rough years and a little bit of rough living in those years, there are also some dark circles, a little shadowing underneath his eyes, kind of hollowed out from a lot of sleepless nights, especially over the last year, from trying to not sleep.
Yeah, I think Kel is someone who has a hard time letting go of his failures and things that he sees as failures. Probably one of the reasons that he stayed with the farm for as long as he did. Kind of sitting in misery sometimes can be very comforting. And I think Kel is someone can get easily hooked on that. A lot of sleepless nights, deep circles under his eyes. Still has his wedding band around his neck, underneath his shirt, so he's kind of constantly reminding himself. Just it looks like he has not had a good night's sleep or really a good couple of days in a while. It takes him a while to get up in the morning, so I imagine today was a particularly hard morning.
All right. And as kind of discussed, you are saying goodbye to the farm after several years of hard work and trying to give this a go and make it work. Like I said, the last year, particularly last season, pretty much will dried it up for good. And especially now with Arlen and his influence and perhaps some encouragement of not wanting to keep him locked in what is unfortunately a fading, if not dying, town. And the farm is certainly past that. So you have loaded up, packed up, and are heading out to Onedbeer, which is the capital city, moving that way, by way of Willow Creek, which is actually your old town.
Yeah.
When it was known that you were moving on, it has been a little bit harder to meet the growing demand of wood for the city. Willow Creek is, they provide a lot of the lumber for the surrounding area and for the city. But the conditions have been a little, just this last, again, season kind of affected everything. So even the timber industry was a little bit diminished. So Willow Creek is having a hard time meeting with demand, and Nangrath has actually had an opportunity to come in. So there is a load of timber that is actually, you agreed for a small fee to transport to Willow Creek on your way to Onad Beer.
Great.
So, and you were there, and Arlen has crawled up and is sitting in the front with you.
Have we pulled away from the farm, or are we still outside of it?
You're still outside of the farm. He just finished packing up the rest and slipped in beside you.
Give it one good, long, last look. Arlen, did you get the sign out of the shed? The caravan sign?
I did. It's loaded up in the back, and I wrapped it. I put some quilting around it so that it would be protected.
Thanks.
It's a nice sign.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good. She did a good job. All right, let's go.
All right,
Hit the road.
Jack.
Hit the road. I don't know how we're going to get hit with copyright strike. I'm like, you keep it short.
Right. It was less than 5 seconds. We're good. Keep moving.
We're good.
All right, and you roll out. Are we just heading that way? Or are we gonna?
Yeah, we're going to head to Willow Creek. We'll drop this stuff off maybe. I don't want to stay the night there if we can help it. We can always just make camp. We don't need to stay there.
All right. I've never been outside of Nangrath, so you know where the good places to, where it's worth it.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Willow Creek's a nice town. It's I think you and I talked about it when we got away from Fort Blackbell. It's a town with a lot of magic.
Right.
I think you'll like it. We'll stay for a little bit. Onad Beer's a long way, so we can't delay too much.
All right. And y'all pull out. You are hauling behind as well of the wagon. There is a large pallet with the loads of timber that have been planed off and loaded up. And
Is this the first time he and Arlen have done a delivery together?
Yes.
Because he
Yeah.
used to, of course, do this all
Right.
the time. All right. And you tied it down. You tied everything down, secured it all?
yeah, I use that. I use that knot you showed me.
Right. Okay.
I should check it again. Why don't I check it?
No. Look, you either did it or you didn't. We're going to find out. I trust you. I mean, you're great. Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it.
I believe
Should I give him a check?
The first roll. It's not me.
The first roll.
It's Arlen.
Make sure, right? Pretty sure I did it. No.
All right. I'm going to keep the axe up front between the two of us, and I'll also keep my short bow within reach to be able to reach back. And he's not taking chances on the road. That first day, like ages ago when he was young, I think still haunts him. So he's
Keeping an eye.
nailed up and ready for the long haul.
Right.
Yeah.
Just in case. It is, in fact, relatively uneventful and easy. I mean, this is a well-traveled road.
Right.
So it is, and it's still maintained. So it's easy enough for the wagon to move on through. Deliveries go this way. Like I said, it's a well-traveled, well-maintained road. So you have an easy travel of it. It does take you most of the day.
Okay.
And you do know that. You're either going to have to stay the night in Willow Creek or you'll have to make camp because it will take you most of a full day to get there. So you'll be coming in at night.
I was just looking at my map. That's quite a trek. Are we cutting through the King's Forest? I imagine that's the
Oh, you're going to ask me?
that's the route. Or are we on? Oh no, we're
you're
on the Green Road.
Yeah, you're on the road.
Green Road.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And actually, I'm completely wrong. It's going to take you more than a few days to get to
Right on.
Willow Creek. Yeah.
But we got camping supplies. We got everything that we need.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Unless you are doing anything in particular, it is going to be, like I said, you're around the King's Forest. It's a pretty well-traveled road. You're not going through any of the woods or forests, so you're staying to the road. You actually even pass, once you get through that first day, you pass other travelers on the road. I mean, it's not completely like
Right.
nobody ever comes this way. So you But unless you're doing anything specifically, we're just going to get you to Willow Creek. You just travel over a couple of days. And
I think he's probably spending the time occupying his mind with sort of the task at hand and taking the time to teach Arlen as much as he can
right.
on the way. I think teaching is probably something, is something that is comforting to Kel because he feels like he's good at what he's doing. So sharing that expertise, it's good for him.
As Arlen he's worked the past couple of years on the farm with you.
Yeah.
And before that, of course, it was part of a community that, the size of the town of Nangrath, and the surrounding area. It was definitely, he's self-sufficient is where we're going. So
awesome.
He is certainly helpful, but he has never left the town of Nangrath. So this is all unknown to him.
It's a whole new world.
The most he's done is those short patrols out to Fort Blackbell, and camping and hunting, forays into the surrounding woods and forest around the town.
Gotcha.
So this is new for him, and actually, as you go, I imagine there's a few stories you still haven't told him about your time on the road, and the stories that your father had told you about his time on the road. So, Arlen has always been particularly interested in the wide world. So he is definitely, tell me another story. Tell me about that time.
I think Kel is not a tremendous storyteller. I think he's someone who would communicate information like when it's relevant. Kind of like someone's like, oh, tell me a story. Be like, what kind of story do you want? Well, tell me about so and so. Well, it's a big town. There's a mayor. A lot of fishing. Nice people.
Did you get to know any of them? I mean,
yeah.
Where's there?
No, there's Nancy who runs a stable. She's got a couple of kids. Pretty good kids. They work hard. He's not like a tremendous storyteller, but he definitely has a lot of information.
It's a lot of information to share. Gotcha.
That's right.
All right. Well, there is no trouble. There are no encounters on your way to Willow Creek.
Sweet.
So you do make it back, and it is very familiar. Not much has changed. You see a lot of the, it hasn't grown. So you see a lot of the same businesses. And of course, it hasn't been that many years since you were last here.
Right.
And go ahead. No, please.
Do I know anything about the current state of Willow Creek? I mean, I know he gets information from time to time, and people tell him things, and he's taken odd jobs here and there. So, do I know if her family still lives here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it cold?
In Willow Creek?
Yeah.
No.
What time of year is it?
It's summer.
Oh, great. Hoods don't make a lot of sense in the summer. I was going to be like, whoop. All right, 10-4. 10-4. All right, head to, go ahead. I'm sorry, you were
No, please.
No, I just wanted to know if her parents live here.
Yes.
And he's obviously going to be trying to just do
Yes.
the drop-off and avoid contact if he can.
Right. Because you have not been back here since your father passed away.
Right.
The times that you have left Nangrath since then, that you've gone anywhere that has required your route to come this way, you've either made sure you've moved through so that you actually haven't seen the town. This is the first time you've actually had to come into the town because you're making a delivery. And so because of that, there has to be some interaction. But it is in part with going through the Kingswood Rest, which is the local inn owned by Howard Kraft and still helped out by his son.
What's his son's name?
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
I'm just curious if I happen to know it.
You do.
Wasn't his son Howard too?
It might very well have been.
It was Howard and Howard, right?
I'm trying to see if I actually... I knew you were going to ask me that too. And I was going to be like, I have Howard. Come on. I have Howard Kraft. I still have his name written down.
Pretty great.
I know, right? Let's see. I'm gonna get. Let me see if I wrote it down.
It was like a Howard Jr.
His son Harold.
Harold. Oh, that's not going to be confusing at all.
Yep.
Howard and Harold.
Yeah, his son Harold.
Good job, Howard. Good job. You doomed us all. All right, head to the Kingswood Rest.
All right. Easily done.
Pull around back for deliveries.
And you do see Harold. It looks like he has Phil, when you last saw him, he was an older teen. He was on that cusp of manhood. So it's been a few years now. He is still large and in charge.
Yeah.
But some of that child, softness has kind of gone away. And it looks like maybe he's laid off holding on to his pie eating contest championship.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, hop off he would be all of a sudden it feels good, I think, to see Harold hop off the cart and come over and give him a big handshake. It's good to see you, Harold.
Oh, real nice to see you too. You've got a delivery for it?
Arlen and I got some stuff for y'all. So
sure. I'll get some help, and we'll get that unloaded and put that around where it needs to go.
Sure, we'll help you do it.
All righty. Appreciate the help.
Yeah.
Appreciate this. Oh, he's good. He's inside. He's back behind the bar, keeping an eye on things because that's what.
That's what he does.
Yeah. Well. Yep.
I love it. Help him out.
All righty.
Yeah. Help whoever comes out. I think he would.
A couple other local lads work and help around in the inn. They come. Lads. They come and they unload the
wagon. We could say the wagon. The
wagon
because he's probably got a cart
connected to it that's got the lumber, timber. Lumber is once it's actually been treated, and the timber is when it's first. Anyway,
I don't know. Somebody's going to tell us though.
I know
There's
about
a bunch
it.
Of wood.
I know as much about the lumber industry as I do about wagoneering. So we're gonna do great.
I read about wagoneering.
Did you really?
Yeah, but I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Not enough to say useful things. Tie the horse to it.
Anywho, okay. Alrighty.
I know it's covered.
Yes, it is covered with all your worldly possessions inside, including a sign. So, Arlen hops down. Arlen has filled out over. He has also gotten older because that's what happens as the years pass. In the last couple of years, and working with you and working on the farm, eating regular meals, if not exactly fine cuisine dining, but they are regular meals and they are steady. And so he's got a steady work and working, and laboring on the farm. So he's
nice.
He's never going to be but he definitely has has some muscle and can pull his own. So
Great.
he helps out with everyone else and you and Howard and get that all.
Kel's not a great cook. I'm sure that most of the stuff is like, hey, what's for dinner? Stew. Hey, what's for dinner tonight? Stew. What's for breakfast? I don't know. I'm still waking up. It's like there's, I'm sure, food to eat. So yeah.
Beans.
There's beans from last night. We had beans last night. I know, and that's what's for breakfast.
It's good. It's hearty.
That's right.
Keeps you strong.
That's right, and you could eat it.
All right. You heading inside?
Yeah, head inside the inn after we get everything unloaded and all that.
Alrighty.
And he would head straight up to the bar.
Okay. Alrighty. You see Arlen walks a little bit behind you and is looking around. This is because this is the pass through of the king to the King's Forest. I mean, you do get the royal entourage traveling through here. So this
Sure.
is actually a really nice inn. It's very, it's simple and cozy still, but it is very well maintained. It, like other things, it does get a little bit of funding from the Crown, so it's a little bit larger. And like I said, it's not falling down. And there's that one special room that nobody else gets to sleep in. So.
Right on. Yeah, head on up to the bar and kind of wave Arlen on up there with me.
Alrighty. You mosey on up and pop a squat, and behind the bar you see a man. He's got his back to you as he's wiping down counters.
I'm not going to interrupt Howard. Just kind of take a look around and wait patiently. Look over at Arlen. Arlen, sorry. We can probably stay here tonight if you want. And we don't have to sleep on the road. It's not too much further to Ononbeer, but we've been on the road for a few days, so. Does that work for you?
All right. Yeah.
All right.
I imagine that'd be fine.
It's probably the last good meal you get until we get to where we're going, so get whatever you want.
All right. All right. And the innkeeper, Howard Kraft, whom you remember, turns around, kind of takes a look at you. It looks like it kind of takes a second. This is somebody who probably sees a lot of folks. He's got a good memory and eye for faces, but you can kind of see that second where he's like, Kel.
Hey.
Kel Blackburn.
Yes, sir.
As I live and breathe. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. Your son was a big help out there unloading.
Yeah. That Harold, he's a good boy.
Yes,
He's even gooder now that he's not eating me out of house and home quite so much. He decided to finally lay off of that pie, which
sure.
I can't tell you that I regret that too. Well, it is sure good to see you. I haven't seen you here. Well, I hadn't seen you here since your dad passed.
Yeah. This is Arlen. He's been helping me out.
Arlen, nice to meet you. Good to have you here. A friend of Kel's, and right nice to see you. Well, thank you, sir. Yes, good to see you. Nice.
We're gonna need a couple rooms for the night. We're heading to Ononbeer in the morning, so we need a couple of rooms if you got them.
You want 2 rooms or?
Yeah, 2.
Oh, sure, yeah. And I imagine you're gonna want some something to keep you
food.
filled and some breakfast in the morning.
We need
Yep.
some food. We need some drink. We need some
Absolutely.
time away from the road.
All right. Well, we have all of that here. We'll set you up right and keep you comfortable and give you a good resting night. All right. Well, let me go ahead and get you. And he turns back away and opens up a little wooden box on the wall. It's got different keys in it, and reaches down and grabs a couple of the keys. Here you go. Slides them across.
Kel's, like whenever there's an opportunity, he's watching the door. Howard, does it get real busy here?
Oh,
Like tonight?
No, you're kind of coming in as probably a little bit slow. A little bit slow. I don't think you're going to see too many of the you might see a couple of the fellas stop by for a drink or two, but nobody else.
I'm not trying to see anybody. So, we'll go ahead and eat. Maybe call it an early night.
I'm
Or
sure.
at least I will. Arlen, I mean, do what you want, but I think I'm going to take my food to go upstairs.
Oh, all right. Well, you've got your key there. If you want, I can send something up to your room.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you don't mind, you can send that up and send some drinks up as well.
All right, will do.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to make anything to help make you comfortable. Yeah, no worries.
Thanks,
No worries.
Thanks. Arlen, have a good time.
Oh, all right. I'll see you in the morning then.
Yeah, I'll see you in the morning. You're in good hands.
All right, Evan. Don't worry about that, Arlen. I can tell you some stories, and you just sit right back in here, and we'll get you some grub right in front of you. And I'll tell you what, I got this cook, Mary. Whew, she'll fry you up some potatoes, and
I'm gonna put 10 gold on the counter and give that to Howard.
okay.
Thanks for taking care of him and keeping an eye on him
Sure.
and whatever he wants.
Oh.
Just on the side, he's telling him that. He feels bad, like just leaving Arlen, but he's like, I do not want to be down here in this room.
All right.
So
Well, you do realize that you have severely given a tremendous amount.
No,
Okay.
he feels super generous and he feels very grateful and he appreciates.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of one of those things, like if there's going to be an opportunity to not have to interact with certain people, I don't want to do it, or he doesn't want to do it now, most
Sure.
of all, in this
Sure.
place. So here you go. Take great care of him, please. And I'm upstairs and asleep.
Right. Okay. No problem whatsoever. You head back upstairs.
Yeah.
In a little bit, there's a knock on the door. You open it up. There's an older teenage girl there. She has a tray,
Thank you.
has a couple of mugs, and she brings it in, sets it down on the.
I'll take 2 more mugs, please.
Of course.
Nice.
She.
Is there a window? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and
You
crack.
can have a window.
Hey, all right.
For 10 gold, you can have a window.
Man, living the high life. Good thing I sold that farm. We should sell more farms. Crack the window open, and I think go sit by the window, enjoy his pipe, and just eat and start the ritual of guiding himself to sleep.
Sure. All right. And a little.
And he's obsessively like looking out. It's kind of one of those things like you're back into place, and he wants to take in all the details, but he doesn't want to be available
Right.
to take in the details with his own, it face to face with people.
Right.
He'd rather just see what he can see from his window.
Right. You probably arrived right around the end of the workday. So as you're sitting there, and a little bit of time passes, the next 2 mugs do come back with the drinks, and they're brought there. And as you're sitting there, I imagine with your pipe and drink and watching, you do see more foot traffic in the street, and you recognize, various townsfolk. You lived here for a great many years, and like I said, most people don't move in and out too often. They're the same folks, So you recognize the odd folk here and there, but you do not see them. If he's particularly looking.
He is, but he isn't. He's keeping an eye out for him, but he's not specifically looking for them. I think he's just chair by the window, leaning back, feet up in the other chair,
Right.
enjoying his drink, enjoying his food, and just taking in the town. I mean, Willow Creek it's a beautiful wonderful, amazing place. And you don't get to be in a place like that too. I mean, he was raised here, but he hasn't lived here in a hot minute, and I think he really misses it.
Right.
And but he wants to miss it from up here. He's okay doing that.
All right. The night passes. And after about another hour or so, if you're still sitting there, you hear a little knock on the door.
Who is it?
It's Arlen.
Come in.
And the door open. I just wanted to tell you I was back up and I was gonna go to bed.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, they had a pretty good fiddle player down in the main room, and he was right. Some of the fellas came in, and they were real nice. It's a real nice town. People are real friendly.
It's a great place.
They're not nearly as cranky as the folks in. I mean, folks back home, they're good people, but they're not real talkative.
Nangrath's a cranky place.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted you to know I was back and I was gonna go to my room and go to bed.
All right. See you in the morning. I'll be downstairs. And ready to go.
All right. Have a good night, Kel.
You too, Orla. Thanks for your help today.
He closes the door and he hears feet move away.
Oh, he's a good kid. How old is Arlen?
He is 19.
He's not a kid.
He's
a good man.
He's a grown man.
All right. Yeah. Kick the boots off, leave the window open, and just lay there until I drift off.
He's 19, almost 20.
Oh, he's almost 20. Well, we got to do something special for his birthday.
All right.
Yeah. Kel, at this point in his life, is quite the snorer.
In the middle of the night.
Sawing, and he doesn't even hear it because he's had so much that he is past plumb out, just sawing logs.
All right.
Absolutely. It's kind of one of those things like if he had covers over him while he slept, which he doesn't. He sleeps on top of the covers. He's like hot all the time. I'm like talking about myself now. Oh, it's so hot that he's got like covers on top of him. If he did, they'd all like hover up off the bed for a moment after, it's kind of like that, like in the cartoons. Anyway, he's a hard sleeper and a heavy snorer.
I'll have to remember that when you're outside and rolling. There'll be disadvantage on random encounters. Can you put disadvantage on random encounters, or like there's a plus 5 to?
Hopefully we can stay real stealthy out here tonight. Oh no! Somebody cover Kel up.
Right, either that or it reduces your chances because it scares everything away.
Right, they're always casting silence right on where he's sleeping.
Right. All right. You find yourself in a ruined landscape. The sky is this swirling mix of black and white. And you see that this swirl seems to be coming from these two different sides of the landscape. On one, these towering silhouettes of dark figures. And there is a ominous, oppressive feeling looking, and you see behind them, spread against the sky, darker than the darkness of the sky, are these wings. And on the other side, as you turn your attention there, you see this blinding radiant light. And amidst that light, you can just make out these forms standing very straight and rigid. And where the darkness, there's this shadow and oppressive and what feels like fear. From the radiance, there's also the same sense of oppressiveness. And while there's not a feeling of fear, there's a feeling that makes you feel diminished, almost submissive. And you see in the center, where the sky swirls together, there is a lone figure. And it stands there, and you can see the weight of either side pressing in. Do you do anything?
Do I have my axe with me? Am I me? Can I, if I see myself, do I feel like myself?
Yeah, you do.
Am I aware that I'm dreaming? Do I know this is a dream, or it just feels like something that's happening?
It feels surreal.
Okay.
And it does feel, once you kind of think to yourself, what is this? Is this real? You realize that it's a dream. You're in a dream.
Right.
Escape.
Is it similar to the prophetic dream that I had a long time ago?
The colors are the same.
Look for my axe.
Okay.
Is it anywhere near me?
It's that. Where do you normally keep your axe?
I mean, I think he's just reaching for it. You know, kind of like he would reach down at his side, thinking that it's there.
Okay.
But to see if it's there, and realizing, I should probably find out if I have this.
It is. And
Pick it up.
As you go to grab it, there's a moment where you realize it wasn't there until you wanted it to be there.
Shouting out at the thing in the middle of all of this, I don't want this! And start walking towards it with a lot of purpose and heaving amounts of anger. I mean, he is furious that this is happening again. I don't want this!
Okay.
I'm just heading that way very quickly.
Alrighty. Your focus is on this figure in the center that is standing there just braced. Its back is to you. And you can tell that it is just a large, seems to be a male figure. You can see that the hair is, as you get closer, because as you focus on it, it's like your steps, even though you felt like there was a distance, as you focus and you start to move, it's like every step you take is this where now suddenly this figure is only about 10 feet in front of you, and you can see standing there braced, and as you get closer, you can feel the weight that is coming in from either side and pressing on as it's standing there with its back, his back to you.
How close am I?
You're probably about 10 feet away.
My intention, I should say, this is what he is trying to do.
Okay.
He wants to reach for, not knowing what this thing is. Is that maybe this is the thing that's sent this dream before, but he's trying to be very clear. I don't know what this is, but get out of my life. So he's trying to reach across to the thing's shoulder to turn it around so that it has to face him.
Okay. All right. And you still have your axe?
He's got it out like this, like I'm prepared to use this thing.
Okay. And
Grab the shoulder and turn it.
all right. You move forward and you slam your hand on the shoulder of this individual, and as you do, you can feel the tension in this person's body as you grab them and you pull them around, and you see turning as it turns towards you, and you are looking at your face, and there's a moment where you see it and you can see the turmoil in you of being crushed between these two oppressive forces, and you reach toward yourself and you wake up.
Bolt up. Mm-hmm. Sit up. Is the window still open?
Mm-hmm. If you left it open last night, it's still open.
Everything all right in the room?
Seems to be. You can hear sound coming up through the window. Birds. Tweet, tweet.
Did I sleep too late?
It's probably early morning, like maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Get up, head over to where I had dinner, all the mess that's there. Mm-hmm. Try to tidy up a little bit and finish off whatever's left in the mug.
Okay.
And now it's time to go.
All right.
Grab my stuff and head downstairs.
All right. Easily done. You it doesn't take you long to get downstairs, or to get your things gathered up rather, and then to head back downstairs. And when you get there, you do find Arlen is already sitting up at the bar. You see Howard is there as well, and it looks like Arlen has a bowl of porridge, oatmeal in front of him, and sees you coming.
Go ahead. You got time. Finish eating. I'm gonna go get the wagon ready. Take your time. Head out back.
All right.
Morning, Howard.
You head back around to where the stable is.
I think once he gets out of the building, just kind of lean up against the wall for a second. There's been such a urgency to get out of this place that once he's finally out, I think he would kind of get all the step taken out of him for a moment, just to stop and remembering the first dream, and then just thinking about this one for a minute. Just sit with it for a couple of minutes. I think also give him time to. You ever, it's like waking up in the middle of something and you're sort of just stumbling forward because you know these steps that you have to take to get to a thing. I don't think he's even fully awake yet. I think he's just been going through motions very quickly. So he's going to take a couple of minutes to gather himself and breathe that amazing Willow Creek
fresh air.
Yeah, fresh air
near the stables.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. That's good. And then go check on Brandy.
All right. You make your way
Brandy's his horse.
You make your way around to the stables, and as you come walking around, you hear voices near where you're heading to get to the wagon and Brandy. Well, she came around here, Rowan. She was asking some really weird questions. I didn't really understand, but I pointed her out to to the lumber camp and told her that was probably the best place to check. So she probably left out, I don't know, maybe about late afternoon yesterday, I guess. Assuming she left right after I told her that. All right. I appreciate the help.
Rowan is...
Rowan is a local to Willow Creek, obviously.
I didn't know if I know Rowan or not. The name was real familiar.
Yeah, he is a ranger, for lack of a woodsman, and he is also the head of the elder council, or the village council in Willows Creek.
Go ahead and head inside.
Would you like to see a picture of
I
him?
would love to see a picture of Rowan.
Have you seen a picture of Rowan?
Ah, very nice. Yeah. Is there a proper way that he would know to refer to Rowan if I run
Everybody
into
just calls him
Rowan?
Rowan. Yeah.
Rowan.
Willow Creek is not a real formal.
I mean, I don't know if it goes by council,
No. They're not real formal here, and it's it's a village, so it's not. Willow Creek is a nice little place, but it's a settlement basically.
Kel is a real it's none of my business person, so I'm gonna but he's curious because he hears I saw her. He's like, well, who's her? So wait for a little bit and then head on inside to go check on Brandy and get her ready.
Okay.
Get him ready.
Actually, as you're sitting there and waiting, you from the direction where you heard the voices, and you actually recognized the other one as well, was one of the young men that had helped last night with unloading the delivery of timber and whatnot. And you do see Rowan come walking out from there, dressed as you're usually typically.
Like he's going to work.
Rowan spends a lot of It's pretty simple clothing, leathers, and spends a lot of time in the woods when he's not village counseling.
Yeah,
heading up things. Like I said, Willow Creek is a pretty. It's a simple little town.
Oh, it's nice there.
Yeah.
Are we passing each other
Yes.
eye line?
Yeah.
There's no way to avoid this moment kind of thing?
And you see as you start to walk up, he
Just kind of nodding to him. Rowan.
Kel Blackburn is good.
Realizing that he has to stop now. Put my hand out.
He holds his hand out and shakes
Good to see
it.
you.
Nice to see you as well.
We had a delivery here yesterday. So
All right. Well, it's good to see you in town. Are you back or just
No.
passing through?
No, just passing through.
All right. Well, I won't keep you, and I have a bit of business to attend to. So.
Best of luck with that.
All right.
Thanks.
He keeps.
Head inside.
All righty. There's your horse.
Hey, what up, Brandy? Go spend a few moments just grooming him, making sure that just. Again, he's still, I think, thinking about stuff this morning, and it's unsettling being here. It feels uncomfortable. So take a few moments with Brandy just to kind of, center himself, and then all right, let's get you hooked up. Let's get out of here. At the gate. Was there someone in the stable that was taking care of all the watching everybody's horses?
Yeah, and as you come walking, and as you come in, and you're, getting ready with Brandy, and you open up the stall to go ahead and bring her out. That sure is a nice horse.
Thank you. Yeah, Brandy's a hard worker.
Yeah, she was real. She was real
it's
good.
He.
He. Oh, I know that because I'm a.
I named him Brandy because he's the color of brandy. The drink. I named him after the drink.
Right. Well, do you need some help?
No. You just want to earn some coin?
Sure. What do you have in mind?
Well, you can help me get him all hooked up.
Oh,
That'd be great.
okay.
See if I got a copper piece. There you go.
All right.
There you go. Hey,
Thanks.
He's all yours. Hand over the reins to the kid. I think,
Kel has no
Kel has no what?
nothing. Let's go.
No, he's just like, yeah, my head's hurting. I don't feel great. Yeah, you can do this.
Okay.
I'll watch you. You're going to do great.
Alrighty. He takes the reins and starts heading out and
Give Brandy a pat. Brandy knows. Brandy understands.
all right. Brandon kind of knocks you.
Stop it.
Stomps it.
I love it. Yeah. Spend his time checking the wagon, making sure everything's there that we need, supplies, all that good stuff. And just
All right.
wait for Arlen.
All right. And after the stable hand takes Brandy out to the wagon, hooks him up. I need to write down that Brandy's a male horse. Hooks him up to the wagon, and
I imagine there's probably been a lot of times that Kel's been like, "This is Brandy. Oh, she's beautiful. He's beautiful."
Yeah. And after a little bit later, Arlen comes outside, and he's moving kind of fast, and comes heading over to you.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Yeah, there was a man inside, and he was talking about some girl went out into the woods and was going after something. It was pretty crazy.
Wait, why was it crazy?
Oh, it was he was talking about that she was telling some kind of story that there was a beast, and it wasn't any kind of like normal, like a normal beast, like a wolf or something, but it was some kind of I don't know, some kind of monster beast.
All right. Go back inside. Go inside the inn. Take my axe with me. Well, stop. Take for a second. Put on the bottom half of the splint. Get your whatever you need.
What are you doing?
We're gonna go help. We're gonna go see if she needs some help. Grab the top part of my splint
Okay.
and just take it inside.
You see Arlen's kind of like, we're doing what?
Get your stuff on. We're doing it.
Oh, what? Okay.
Head inside. Was it?
I've got my. You see Arlen's kind of just standing there, and he's got his just traveling clothes on, and he's got his normal little dagger, and he carries
enough.
like a quarter. And he's like,
Yeah, perfect.
I got my stuff.
Good. Well, I don't know how it works.
Right.
Head inside and look for Rowan. Is Rowan in there telling this story, or is he? Was it? Describe Rowan to him. Is that what the guy looked like?
Oh, right. Yeah. He was talking to Howard.
Head inside. Yeah.
Howard was the one telling him, but he left.
Rowan left.
Right. He said he was heading into the woods.
Open the door. Howard. Which way did Rowan go?
He headed outside of town. He was heading to the lumber camp.
Right. Come on, let's go.
right.
Get dressed. It's tight. It's fine. I got it. I don't need help. I don't need help. It just takes time.
Let me grab
myself.
that. I'll grab that.
Fine. You get that side. I'll get this side.
Y'all kind of hold on to your second a little bit and cinch it.
Load up and head to the lumber camp.
Okay. Are you taking the wagon?
Taking the wagon.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've got it.
All
Might as
right.
well not,
Sure.
It'll shorten our trip. Yeah.
All righty. You pick it up. You are familiar. No,
Come on, Brandy.
Stop. again, you're familiar with this area, so there is a like a woodcutter's trail that heads out that way,
Okay.
and you start heading outside of town. You actually catch up with Rowan. I imagine you kind of, get Brandy going into a little bit of a trot, and do catch up with Rowan. You see him ahead on the trail, and he's kind of
Is he on foot?
he's on foot, but he's kind of on a light jog. But you're
Go
still
ahead
going faster.
and get off Brandy. Rowan, we're going with you. Hold on a second.
He turns around and
Tie off Brandy, and we'll be actually. He doesn't need to be tied off. He's connected to the wagon. I know how horses work. Leave. Get what we need. Get the axe. Get the rest of his splint mail that he hasn't put on yet. Start tying off my gloves. We're going with you.
well, all right.
There's a. Look over at Arlen. This is the guy.
And Arlen just kind of nods his head, looking back and forth between.
So there's a girl chasing a monster into the woods.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, it sounds a little crazy. Come on.
We'll go with you.
Yeah, that's fine. And y'all keep traveling. It's probably about 15, 20 minutes outside of town, or 15, 20-minute walk that you come on a lumber camp
Wait a
right
minute.
there at the
I had it in my head that we were on like a tight little wooded trail. Can we take the horse and the wagon?
Yeah, you
okay,
can keep
let's
going.
let's load up on that and get there faster.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll totally take. Let's.
Yeah. No, this is right. This is and I'm maybe kind of describing it as a woodcutter's trail. It's just because you're heading to a lumber camp, so like a woodcutter's trail. But it's probably larger than that because it gets the traffic
trail
back
made
and
of
forth, and so
woodcutters.
they bring wagons and they do stuff. They have enough of a trail because they have got a lumber camp and whatever lumber
it.
people are bringing.
I love it. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Yeah, the things that you have to end up researching and reading about that you
Listen.
just don't put on your list when you're doing prep.
I understand. Yeah. No,
There's a lumber camp. You're heading to the lumber camp. my
completely
God.
take Brandy and give Rowan a ride if he wants it, so he doesn't have to walk. We get there quicker.
Sure. Yeah. And you guys do. You kind of squeeze up. It's not actually that bad of a fit because Arlen's a pretty small little guy, and Rowan is actually thin too. So you're taking up half of it, and between the two of them, they're pretty comfortable on their half. So y'all head that way.
He still has his cushion from like back in the day. Remember that he gave the merchant when he was like, "Yeah, here you can." He has his special cushion.
Right. And y'all get to the lumber camp. There are several men and kind of around doing
Say it. Say it.
wood cutting
Wood cutting.
and lumbering.
Fantastic.
It's just one kind of just lumbering around, and
Right. I love it.
that was just for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway. And they look over as y'all, jingle in with the horse and kind of pull in, and you see one of the men come walking over, seeing Rowan. Hey, Rowan, what's up? I'm following a girl, a young halfling girl. Apparently, she
Watching their faces while he's talking.
she heard some sort of story and has decided to go monster hunting. Oh, right. Yeah. No. Yep. She came out this way. Yeah. So, well, we told her there was nothing out there, right? We tried to tell her just head on back into town, but well, Cody. Yes. Well, Cody got it into his head that he saw something out in that woods, and apparently he's been telling stories. And this girl, well, she's got her blood up for adventure, and she wants to see some things and do some things or whatever. So Cody went and told her this story, and now she's got it in her head that there's something out there, some kind of monster beast.
What's the girl's name?
Anybody remember that? Did she say her name? She said her name was Byra.
Byra. Which way did Byra go?
Well, she headed off that way. He kind of points in the direction of the woods.
Great. Is there room for the cart, or should we leave Brandy here?
If you're going to be, depending on how far, when
Probably
she left and
better
how
to go
far.
on foot. That way we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Leave Brandy here.
Okay.
Find a good suitable spot to pull over, grab what I need, hop off. Rowan, I'm going that way.
Well, we're going. I'm pretty sure I can pick up a trail of a girl who's not used to the woods.
Follow you.
Let's go. All right. And he heads into the woods and starts. She's supposed to have left out yesterday, late afternoon, evening. So she's been in. I wouldn't normally worry too much. And he's kind of moving through the woods, and you see he's rangering. he's looking along the trail, heading in the direction. So she I wouldn't worry too much about her. I mean, it's just normal animal life out here.
Well, we've seen monsters in Mangrove.
Yeah, unless she gets too far out. So hopefully she didn't make it that far.
You know this Cody kid?
Yeah, he's a little bit of a laggard, kind of a layabout. You see Arlen is moving, taking up the rear. Yeah, I imagine you're right behind.
Yeah,
Rowan.
he's following right behind Rowan, keeping an eye out.
And you keep moving through the woods and moving farther and farther into the forest. But Rowan moves very confidently.
Right.
And is obviously, and you know, he's very familiar with these woods. And he does seem to have picked up a trail that he is following through.
Okay. Not interrupting him at all, just keeping pace, letting him do his thing.
All right.
Checking on Arlen every once in a while.
Yeah. And Arlen, like I said, he's not a city boy, so he's very comfortable staying here as well.
It's easy for Kel, I think, to not, as much as he tries to keep in mind the people that are with him, I think sometimes he can get very single focused. So when he catches himself doing it, he'll be like, oh, it's been a while since I make sure Arlen's still with, oh yeah, we're still good. Yeah, that's that kind of thing.
Yeah. And the day passes as you continue to move deeper in and following Rowan. And probably a good hour later, you see he stops. And kind of turns around to you. Kind of gestures around, like the area, and he taps his ear. And as he does that, you realize that the sounds of the forest that you had kind of taken for granted, just
Right.
that it's completely quiet.
Right. I'm just nodding at Arlen.
And you see Rowan reaches up, takes out his bow.
Make sure I have just having a good grip, tightening it.
And you see Arlen wiggles his fingers. I'm kidding.
I'm ready.
and draws an arrow, notches it. And he starts moving forward much more slowly.
How dark is it?
It is pretty thick here, the canopy overhead. And you have moved off of any kind of traveled. This last little bit, you've moved deeper into the woods.
Balder. No, don't do that, buddy. He wants to look outside.
So it is.
But it's still daytime.
Yes,
it's just
because at this point, by the time
canopy,
right, it's probably late morning,
Sure.
midday. So the sun is up high. It's just a thick canopy, so it's still bright. Or at most, not even dim light. It'd be like half light or
Sure.
whatever. So just because of the canopy, and he continues to move forward, but now he's moving much more slowly and being very careful about how he places his feet.
Keeping an eye on our sides.
Okay.
And trees over us, right? Keep an eye, just looking around.
Okay.
He's trying to keep his awareness up.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do a stealth check.
Oh.
What?
Great. Great. All of us? Mm-hmm. All right. Not so bad. 16.
That's good.
Man, I feel so stealthy right now. So stealthy.
All right. You move through. And you see Rowan pull up. And he's still got the bow. And he turns behind him, kind of motions you forward, and you move up next to him.
Yeah.
And you see probably about 20, 30 feet in front what starts to be this thick web.
Oh, like we're coming upon it. And
Yeah.
like kind of like how you walk through a web, you never even saw it there.
Yep.
Got you.
And as you're kind of looking, you realize that that webbing is spread
Spiders. Oh, it's spiders.
all through.
No. Great.
And you hear. Let's see if we can do. From deeper in the webbing.
That's not a spider. Should we burn it? Rowan, should we burn this?
It's not a spider web.
What is it?
I don't know. It's too thick.
Take my hatchet.
And you hear that again, which I'm not going to do because it hurts my throat, as it comes up again. And you hear very faintly, almost like it's muffled. It sounds like a girl letting out a...
Bust out my hatchet and go at it. Not my felling axe, but my hatchet, my side hatchet, and see if I can cut through it. I don't want to risk that this will get stuck in it and then I can't get it out.
Okay. Alrighty. And as you move forward and close the last of that distance, you do come up on this web. which you can see these, now that you're closer, you can see these thick strands that just spread out in what is this massive webbing through all parts of this. And you can see probably about another 25, 30 feet into it. You start to make the shape, and you see this large, what looks like a lion, and these wings spread out that are caught in the webbing. And we're going to go ahead and put this on the board.
Whoa! Should we go ahead and switch over to the battle cam? Battle cam! Ba-da-da. We don't have music for the battle cam. Whoa! What? Oh, come on. That's amazing.
And let's see, how far did I say? 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, there was a monster in the woods.
Put him back here. And there's Rowan.
You can put Arlen further back.
He's at the edge of the webbing. Okay, so we are going to kind of mark something here because there's this webbing that's all around it. So this isn't exactly to scale
10-4
of this webbing, but we'll kind of put it there. We'll say it kind of comes out a little bit further.
Okay.
I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20. Does that kind of work as a representation at least?
Yeah, fantastic. So the circle here is where the webbing is.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
Question: does the webbing go all through here, like the entire thing is a ball of?
Right. It's these thick strands. So it's more like a, not like a, like an actual spider web, so that you see all the strands. So it's not like a clustered.
So
ball.
these have just been caught in the
Yes,
webbing.
they are caught in the webbing.
Okay.
And
Can we see Byra?
And you do see, and she seems to be, because she's a little halfling, more wind up, and you do see that kind of part of the webbing is across her mouth, which is why that kind of muffled sound, whereas the manticore has managed to,
tear some of it.
Right, but it is, and you realize how strong this webbing and sticky it has to be in order for it to have caught a creature that size.
Okay. I think we need to be worried about whatever spun this.
Yeah.
Look over at Arlen. Mm-hmm. Hey, can you get her out of there? He has no clue what Arlen can do. He's just like,
Right.
magic. Can you?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can do to get her out of there?
Yeah, you see Arlen starts moving around to this side, and Rowan kind of moves with him as well. And you see...
Make myself a target.
Okay.
Like stand up tall, have my axe out, be looking around like he's trying to make sure that he looks like the biggest threat
Okay.
out here.
What is your passive perception?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. 12.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelsey sees all.
Surprisingly, you are not surprised.
Hey!
So, as this is what it looks like, but we are going to use this
Oh, snap.
because as you move in and you kind of swell up and you start to look big like you're coming up this webbing,
Oh,
we're going to use
bowed out.
this as the
Okay.
representation.
okay.
As you see moving through the web, like I said, it looks more like this.
Right.
That is not an actual extra figure, but it is this large monstrosity of a creature that looks like it is a humanoid spider.
Oh, no.
It has this bulbous body
Nope.
that is like the main body of a spider, but it obviously it walks on two legs. Its hands don't come down in it's kind of like mandible claws, and its face looks like if a giant, if a spider's face was made much larger,
Right.
and then also kind of put in the shape of a humanoid.
Oh,
So, like I said, we're going to leave that there as kind of that's more what it looks
spiders.
like. But it's about 8 foot tall.
goo!
And so it is a much larger, and you see it kind of moving through the webbing, and it just slides through like you would imagine a spider does as its feet kind of glide along the strands of this webbing and its initiative.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
It's all good.
Kale's a little stunned by having to fight spiders again. Oh, spiders.
What'd you get?
A 6.
Total? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
That's a 4 plus a 2.
I realized I forgot my initiative trackers again.
I know. You're a good girl. I know. I heard all about it. Yes. Okay, well, you can't come. You can't come up here. Yeah. Okay, let's get in.
Alrighty. So Arlen is going to go first, and
Come on, Arlen.
he is going to throw some fire at.
We're gonna burn this whole web down, and the halfling with it.
Okay. Let's see. You see out of the corner of your eye this little mote of fire that you are very familiar with Arlen, and it spins up and shoots out, and you see that it catches the web and does burn away a portion of it. And he's like, "Oh, good," realizing that this is going to work. And you see Rowan kind of leans in and pulls out a long hunting knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife, and pulls that. As I was sitting there thinking, he doesn't have a dagger. He's got like a hunting knife, and it's like a big long one. Anyway, and he's starting to
80s
kind of
kids
cut.
rejoice.
He's starting to cut away as the Ettercap, we will leave them to it, comes at you.
Let's go. I'm curious as to what the Manticore is doing, but he's focusing all his attention on the Ettercap.
The Manticore.
I don't think that Kel even has awareness that there's anything else in the world other than this Ettercap at the moment.
Yeah,
which he's never seen before.
Right. It is this large bulbous with the dripping fangs comes at you.
Let's go.
What's your AC?
My AC is currently 18 because I upgraded the splint mail. Let's go.
All right.
This thing's coming. Kel's like, all right, I got it on. I got all the pieces on.
You see as this creature moves through to you, and you see this webbing come out of it, and you just bring your you kind of stumble back a little bit as it's edging towards you, and the edges of it graze across as you kind of hold your axe in front of you instinctively, and the edges of this webbing kind of graze the edge of it, and you kind of feel it start to stick a little bit, and you yank your axe back and manage to just avoid as it hit AC 17.
Oh, yeah. See? A split mail made a big difference.
And you see it move up the
You gotta be
up the
kidding me.
webbing, and is kind of like
climbing out of reach.
hovering over you. Yeah.
Dirty.
It is your action.
Me?
Yes.
I thought it was okay. Great.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
They are over there hacking the way through.
They're doing their thing.
Yeah, to get through.
How far away is this thing currently from me? Is it within reach of my axe, or has it moved far out of range?
You have a just normal range with that axe of 5 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a pole arm, but
yeah.
it's a great axe, but it's not a pole arm.
Yeah, it's probably about 15 feet from you.
I got you.
As it has moved up and is kind of hanging upside down now, looking at you. I'm
going to take my axe, aim it at him, and I'm going to shout, "Get out of here, it's me and you!" And I'm going to try to compel duel.
Okay, awesome. Do it.
He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
All right. Oh, we have a camera for this. Can we use it?
Oh, do you want me to use that? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll for it then?
Sure. You can do it, or I can do it.
No, I really can't because it's.
10-4. I understand. I just ruined our cameras. All right, let's go. What's my spell save DC? My spell save DC for Kel is something that's within these pages. I think it's a 14 now. Yeah, it's 14. 14. Spell save DC of 14.
Okay. He needs a.
Yeah! Oh, go ahead.
He needs a 13 to save.
He rolled a 4.
Okay, so tell me what happens.
Yeah, all right. Compel a duel. You compel a creature into a duel. A creature you can see within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine command, or divine demand. For the duration, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against creatures other than you, and must make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet from you.
Okay.
And this spell ends if I attack any other creature, or if I cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target. I'm also committed to this fight with this thing.
Okay.
No, that's pretty much it. I'm kind of stepping back. And actually, I'm going to use my movement because this thing is drawn to me. I'm going to step back away from it.
You try and pull it out of the. Try and draw it out of the web.
Draw it out of the web.
Okay.
So I'm going to step back so that it has to come to me away from this web.
Okay.
To fight me.
Oh, okay. Now, because you know that it has to stay within like 30 feet of you.
Right.
So if you move at least 30 feet back away from the webbing, it's going to completely pull it. It should completely make it move out of the webbing.
Yeah. Well, I also it would have to make a wisdom saving throw if it tries to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. I'm just trying to get where it can't physically reach me unless it comes down.
Right.
So I'm stepping back away from it. I'm just moving 10 feet back.
Yeah, it's going to essentially be compelled to move with you.
Yeah, so stepping back.
So that it
away from
moves.
everything. Come on,
moves.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
As you lure the spider thing man, as you are, as he's over there still burning his way through the webbing, and you see again, Rowan is continuing to just kind of keep hacking and slashing. It looks like they're actually almost to her.
Oh, great.
And will be with her in the next round, as you have now completely caught this thing's attention, and it lunges forward to you.
Let's go.
And is going to
completely kill me in one shot.
No, you're fine.
Takes me back to when I got stabbed in that cart.
It lumbers forward towards you, and lashes out with this oddly shaped face that comes. Its mouth elongates a little bit more than it should as those fangs come down, and you manage to deflect it as it doesn't.
Oh, great.
Connect with its bite, but then, however, you realize that those hands are sharp claws, and it swipes out at you, and you take 7 points of slashing damage as its claws do connect and cut through on your neck as it cuts through a part of your, and you feel that burning of.
I'm going to attack this thing.
Yeah, you should totally attack this thing.
I am going to attempt to attack this thing. AC 17.
Yes.
Yeah.
That will definitely hit.
Oh, we're gonna smite.
Okay.
Might as well, right?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. I mean, what
else are you gonna do with it?
That's right. Let's do it. We're gonna smite it up. I don't have spell slots higher than first, so we're gonna use first. 7 points of damage.
Okay.
For the initial hit. And 11 points of smite damage. Is that radiant? Is that radiant damage?
Mm-hmm. It should be.
Okay, 11 points of radiant damage.
Okay. All righty. And you bring up that massive axe and you slam into it, and you feel that tingle through the axe as you imbue it with a little bit of that. Still resisting this, but when it
we're gonna use it.
We're gonna use it when it counts.
That's right.
Yeah. And you cut into the side, and you see some of this like black blackish green ichor
Nope.
out of its side of blood. And back to the top.
Can I use a bonus action?
Absolutely, please
Question. So smite doesn't count as spinning. It doesn't count as casting a spell, does it? You're not casting a spell. You're just imbuing your attack. Right? It uses a spell slot, but it's not a spell.
do. Right, it's not a spell. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so-
no. It uses a spell slot.
So with that, can I use a bonus action that's a spell that can be a bonus action?
I'm going to say yes.
Ah, I'm sure the comments section.
As long
will
as
let
it's
us
a
know.
bonus action.
It is truly a bonus action.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Because I'm concerned about that manticore getting loose as we are starting to damage the web. As a bonus action, I am going to look over at, what'd you say her name was?
Byra.
Byra. I was going to say Bara. Look over at Byra, and Kel is wanting safety and protection for her, and to keep her from harm and for her to survive this ordeal. And with that, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith on her. And he
Okay.
is just, that's what he's basically saying, this internal prayer for and this hope for her. And she'll have a +2 to her AC.
Okay. And as you do that,
Yeah.
you feel almost like it is almost like an audible ring of like a bell chiming when something is done, as you put out that intention to keep her safe from harm. And then it is back to the top.
Let's
and as
go.
you're looking over there, you see Arlen fire off one more of these bits of fire, and you see the last of it and of the webbing around her, and you see Rowan reach in and grab her arm, and she's now kind of freed up, and he cuts off the rest of it, and he's pulling and tugging on her. We'll give him and between the two of between her kind of struggling through and Arlen as well, they pull her out of the webbing, and it looks like she is free as you
Fantastic.
continue
Yeah.
to hack and slash. And you see, as she is pulled free, the manticore lets out another one of these huge
Oh, that was the Manicore doing that. That makes sense.
oh you
I kept thinking it was the Ettercap for some reason. It makes total sense that it's the Manticore.
my best
doing it.
attempt at a roar.
It's a great roar. That's a great roar.
the Ettercap sounds more like
Oh, no, I don't like it. Is it a fiend or undead? I don't know anything about Ettercaps.
no, they're monstrosities.
Okay, I got you. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
they're monstrosities.
Thought maybe there was a chance that it was a fiend.
All right. And it is going to come after you again.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's real angry that way. Oh, that's a natural.
Oh, good.
You're gonna-
I like that. I like naturals.
You're going to take 14 points of slashing damage. As this thing with its long, kind of oversized arms, it comes down at you again with those, and you're like, you manage to kind of duck and dodge away from that again, and it slashes out with your arms, and you're kind of so focused on just those horrible,
Yeah.
that mouth maw coming
Right.
at you, and one of its claws comes back around and clashes at you, and like I said, you take 14 points because it rolled a natural.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And you just feel that stinging as it actually cuts through part and tears through the splint.
I can see the struggle.
Yeah, it is real. And they pull her through. It is your action.
She's safe. The Manticore is struggling.
Yes.
Okay.
He is in there.
I'm gonna wind up, come around, and you know what we're gonna do? Oh, I can do this after I attack. I am going to use my guided strike to change that from a 5 to a 21.
Okay. That'll hit.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like I should say for all the like rules, folks. So it's going to add 10 to my roll. I can decide after I roll, so it makes it 15 plus 6, 21.
Okay.
Great. And I'm going to burn my last spell slot to burn another smite on this thing. And that's it for me for spells. Let's do some damage first. Please. Oh my goodness. Doing 11 initial with the axe. And doing 9 radiant with the smite.
Oh, you need to make a Constitution save. Thank you for remembering.
Thank you. We'll see if that ended. All right, let's do it.
It's going to be a DC 10.
I rolled a 10. Fantastic.
There you go. You maintain your concentration.
Woo-hoo.
Because you have, with your last attacks against it, as you really dig into it, and again, that flare of radiance, it starts to move away from you, which is going to do a wisdom to save to see if it can. Do you want to roll there, or do you want me to just roll for it?
That's up to you. Let's do it down here. This is
Okay.
Let's do it down here.
You want to see the roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to? Well, you can't see it from where you are.
Yeah, you've got it. He's got to roll a 13 or better.
Oh, we rolled a natural.
There you go. As it starts to move away,
did quite
however, it is going to move away from you, so you can get an opportunity attack.
Yeah, let's opportunity attack that
If you would
thing.
like to take it. If you haven't used a reaction this round.
No, I have not.
Okay.
AC 18.
That'll hit.
Boom. Doing 10.
Okay.
Get back here.
All right. And
It's like, no.
it continues to back up and it moves into the webbing. You had pulled it far back in, so let's say it makes it into the webbing and it only makes it about right to the edge of it and then kind of skirts up. So it's actually
Back in that perched position that it was going to.
Right.
No.
However, it's going to be at the top of the round. It's now Arlen's action.
Is it near the manticore?
It's probably because the manticore was farther back in. I said it was like about 20 feet.
Sure.
So it's on the edge of it. So it's probably about 10 feet
From the manticore?
From the manticore within, but the manticore is completely
It's encased. I got
in
you.
this webbing. Yeah. Arlen turns and you see he kind of pulls his hands together like he's forming a ball, and you see this warbling mass, this blast fires out
Yeah. Come on, Arlen.
towards the Ettercap, and you see it explodes into it. Because you guys have they've burned out that half of the web, so it can't really go that way, and it has to be careful moving this way. It's actually going to kind of keep it on the edges. What's up, Boulder? As it's going to try to move around, because it's trying to avoid that center where that manticore is, even though that manticore is very tightly bound.
For sure.
It doesn't mean that it wants to get close to it at all. So it's going to try to move around this way.
Okay.
After shooting off its web, but realizing it's not in a particularly great spot.
25. I'm going to move to here.
Okay.
Oh, I probably need to move to here. 30.
Okay. Here, move
Thank you.
Do it.
Perfect. Can I hit that thing?
Sure.
Hit that thing. I mean, is it up in the air or is it down on the ground?
No, it had moved more along the side. So as it was trying to kind of dodge its way through.
Yeah.
So I keep looking over here, going, where exactly are you? Let me visualize.
Smack that thing. Goo, not with that. I'm doing so bad. 8.
AC 8?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, sorry, AC 10.
No, that's gonna miss.
Whiff.
Yeah. You thought that it was within range, but as you got closer and you actually lunged out to hit, you realized it was just a little bit too far for your axe. It kind of pulls its legs up a little bit and manages to just stay.
What was the line from the baseball? Just a bit outside.
Yeah. Aveline kind of comes running around, and she is shouting as she kind of barrels her way across, and she's like, lets out this like almost like a battle cry as she's ready
quite
to
upset.
she's right, and then she kind of comes down there, and you see that she actually is looking around but can't seem to figure out how does she actually get to this thing because she's nowhere in range to it. She can't climb back into the but she actually reaches on the ground, grabs a rock, and takes it and flings it
Let's
through.
not forget about rocks. Come on, Byra.
And actually pings this thing right through, and in this perfect beeline shot, showing an amazing lack of and great eye, amazing amazing arm and eye, and actually pings through, and you see the catches it under the thing and its eye, and it kind of shakes its head a little bit. And you do see as Rowan moves around behind and takes aim with his bow and lines up, and this shot of an arrow comes through and catches the thing right between its layer of eyes. And you see that it just kind of hangs in this webbing.
Clearly dead
as the
great shot
eases out. And then you immediately see, as you turn around, you're like, great shot. And you see as Rowan immediately turns, notches another arrow, and is pointing to where the manticore in the center is letting out another roar and thrashing.
Look over at Byra. Mm-hmm. You know this beast?
That's what I was tracking.
How'd you get so close to it? 'Cause she was right next to it, right?
Yeah. I had a plan. It was a good plan, too. And I was going to catch it. But it didn't work out so well. I had this idol. And, well, I was pretty sure how it worked. It was a trapping. Only when I used it, the web came out just like I expected. And it trapped the beast. But it also trapped me. And then it released that thing.
You did this?
Well, it was part of my plan, and it was a good plan, too. It would have worked.
Why do you want to capture that thing?
I didn't want to capture it. I was going to take it down. That's a monstrous beast.
I know what it is. Arlen, let's burn it.
When you say that, the manticore lets out
love
this.
your roar. It's great.
Lets out this terrible, and you see it as much as it can, but it's completely trapped in this webbing, and it's shaking it, and you see the webbing kind of move, but there is no movement in terms of like it's not getting free at all. But now it's letting out these roars as you're sitting there saying, "Let's burn it."
Yeah. Does Kel know what a manticore is? I mean, being raised in Willow Creek, where they're more magical in nature.
I mean, you've definitely heard stories and tales about manticore, so you can definitely recognize this. I mean, it's the equivalent of somebody who's familiar with Greek mythology or whatever. Sure. You've never actually seen one. You've never talked to anybody who's seen one, but you've certainly read stories about the manticore that terrorized the town and
nothing.
The hero.
Nothing good comes from.
I mean, they're
as far as he knows.
Right.
Look over at Rowan. This is your field. You got a plan for this thing?
Well, we certainly can't leave it in the shape it is, and it's we let it go,
It's just going to hurt people.
that'd be my fear.
All right. One less manticore. Let's go.
All right.
Is that as a human face, right? Okay.
Somewhat human, yes.
Look at Byra. Why were you tracking this thing?
Because it's a monster.
All right.
I was gonna take it down.
Joe feels so conflicted about this trapped manticore that is helpless, but Kel would not. I think Kel feels no compulsion at all to hesitate. We
Okay.
have an opportunity to remove something awful that terrorizes people, that is the stuff of nightmares and and so far no one has given him anything other than I was here to capture it and stop it. Yeah, this thing's terrible. He has no one is
He would have
supporting.
no reason.
Because he's looking around like, I don't want to, because he feels weird, just like caged animals. You don't just go up and, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's like
right.
you trap things to let them go off the property or whatever. So this feels weird. Weird in the sense to him because this thing is trapped, but also he has really no compulsion to save this thing.
right.
This is an evil creature that hurts people and is a terror. Yeah. Joe's over here going, I don't know. But that's not who's rolling dice right now. Right. Let's burn it. Walk up to it.
You see, Arlen.
Let's try to put this thing out of our misery. Maybe don't burn it. Something. I mean, we don't want to torture it. We just want to end it.
Right. Feels a little. I mean, it's a terrible thing.
Let's do this quick. If we can do this quick, let's do it quick.
Right.
We don't want it to be in pain. That's not necessary.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right.
Yeah, realizing his first compulsion was burn this thing. Now he's like, okay, we don't have to do that. But we
Right.
do need to, yeah. So, telling them that.
Okay.
Let's just take it out.
All right. Between the four of you, you do take down this manticore, and the only one who does genuinely seem fairly bloodthirsty about it is Byra. She is very obviously out here for adventure, and she is here to have the glory of taking down the monstrous beastie, and it does eventually die.
Go look at the udder cap.
Yeah, that thing's hideous.
Rowan, you ever see anything like this?
No, I haven't.
Vyra, you said this thing came out of where?
You can see that the statue, it looks like just like a little clay pot, but then drawing on the etches around it, you realize as you're looking at it what just looks like some kind of decorative pattern. It looks like webs. Is this? So, it was supposed to be like a web trap.
Somebody sell that to you, or did you make it?
I found it on one of my adventures.
And how do you know what it does?
I mean, yeah, there's webs around it, and it's a web trap. Pretty. So I brought it into one of the magic shops in town, and I asked him, how does it work? And he said that that was basically how he kind of described it.
Look over at Arlen. They got a magic shop in town, by the way. Can I see it?
She hands it over to you.
Does it still work?
Are you asking her?
Yeah. Because he has no clue.
Well, no, I don't think it works anymore, because when the guy told me that when I was going to use it, that I would have to break it. So, and you do see that there's like a big crack in it.
Oh.
That's through it now. And when that happened, I thought it was going to bring out the web, which it did, but it also brought that thing.
Right. Okay. Rowan? It's your woods. What do we do?
I think we...
Do we need to bring this thing into town?
I don't want to bring that thing back.
All right, what do we do with it? Just leave it out here?
No, I think we can burn it.
That's fair.
Destroy it and the rest of this as well, and make camp a little bit away, and we'll head back in the morning.
Great. Start cutting wood.
Alrighty.
Build a pyre for this manticore.
And the
Just a
ettercap.
nice fire for it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And y'all spend the rest of the remainder of the day collecting enough wood, setting off a place where you can build a pyre and a little bonfire, and you set it up and you burn both of them, and it does smell pretty terrible as you burn it down. And when it's done, kind of spread out the ashes and all right. Well, we're only about an hour or so. So if we want to walk back,
Yeah. Let's
just head back to
I don't
town.
want to stay out here.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Everybody okay to walk?
You see the Byras. I could have taken care of that myself.
You're pretty tough, Byron. I imagine you could have. So Cody's the one who told you about this thing?
I don't know what his name was.
His name's Cody.
Oh, yeah.
How did Cody find out about it?
He said he saw it. He was in town drinking, and I heard the story. He was talking to it about some folks, and I figured it was about time for my next adventure.
Oh, your next one, your big adventure?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. He wouldn't say awesome. Oh, that's so rad. Well, great. Well, good. Well, how about that? You limit your adventures to this surrounding area here, or you travel much?
I get out every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like the thrill of the hunt and being out here and testing your skills.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Okay.
Y'all head back to town.
Head back. We got a cart. Yeah. Load up the wagon with folks. we're taking a full contingent of folks back to town. Give everybody a ride back.
Easy enough. Yeah, you get back to the camp. By this point, it is by the time that you've taken care of all of this, it is full dark. The lumber camp. It looks like everybody has headed back into the town for the evening, but your cart is still there and Brandy is still there. Lets out a little whinny and a neigh as you come into sight and kind of stomps his foot. And everybody clambers up into the wagon, and y'all head back.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're going to be staying in Onad Beer another night.
One more night.
No, not Onad Beer. Sorry, in Willow Creek.
Willow's Creek. One more night.
That's
One more
fine.
night.
That's
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
Park the.
So,
ahead.
so Byra, you're from Onad Beer. Yeah.
You plan on going back to Onad Beer anytime soon?
Oh, she is. Use that as Rowan, nodding her head. Yes. I believe her parents will be very glad. He gives her a very disgruntled, disappointing look, disapproving look. We'll be very glad to have her back. She kind of puts out her bottom lip and
Look over at Arlen, and just kind of signal towards her. He's trying to silently say, "Take her with us."
Byra, we're heading to Onad Beer. Be good to have someone who knows the city give us a give us a few pointers on the way back, and you can tell us some more about how you tracked that thing.
Well, you did trap a manticore.
I sure did. It's not the only thing I've trapped. I've caught lots of stuff.
Oh, good. That's good.
She kind of leans back and starts talking to Arlen about, there was this one time. Y'all make it back. You spend another night at the inn. We'll head in. And let's take a break.
Well, that's it. That's episode 1. We did it. We rolled the things and things happened and all the stuff. We really, really, really hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. And we hope you will enjoy us. Enjoy us.
Enjoy joining us. Oh, let's
Whoa.
do that.
Did you see what we did that?
Oh, it's
we
amazing.
totally did that. Seriously. Thanks for joining us. Twice the Dice. I'm April.
I'm Joe.
And we will see you next time.
Thanks so much.
Y'all take care. Bye.
Bye.